I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes, more or less. This week, we conclude the festival of Passover, and we move on to Parsha Shemini, which was eclipsed last week by the Passover readings. Our Parsha begins, on the 8th day, Shemini. Moshe called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. At this time, Moshe commanded Aaron and the people to bring a sin and burnt offering to consecrate the tabernacle. Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, however, offered a strange fire that was not authorized by Hashem and were consumed by a heavenly fire. There are numerous comments about just this event. One says they were drunk, but this is not our focus. We know according to the concept of divine providence, nothing happens by accident. So, it is no coincidence that our Parsha is called Shemini, the 8th day, and Passover, which is finishing this week, has 8 days. Thus, the end of Passover, as well as the events of the Parsha, must be interconnected. According to Kabbalah, the number 7 corresponds to perfection and completeness in nature. There are 7 days of creation, complete with Shabbos, which is the 7th day of perfection and rest. There are 7 notes in the diatonic scale, 7 sfirot in the mystical aspects of godliness, and more. The number 8, on the other hand, corresponds to transcendence beyond nature. It is without end. It is godly. This supernatural number, when it is on its side, is the infinity sign. It is no coincidence that the baby's bris, literally his covenant with God, is performed on the 8th day, corresponding to our transcendent, covenantal relationship with Hashem. The last day of Passover has transcendent qualities that are even beyond the holiness of the first 7 days. It is what follows our physical and spiritual liberation from Egypt. On the first 2 nights, we celebrate the commemoration with the 2 Sedarim, orderly festive meals discussing the Exodus. Yet, Acharon Shel Pesach, the 8th day, reminds us of the importance of what happens after the holiday. It represents the beginning of a new journey as we strive to elevate ourselves, exiting and transcending our prior limits, drawing closer to Hashem. Parsha Shemini serves as a powerful reminder that our spiritual growth requires proper preparation and commitment to Hashem in the way He directs us. Nadav and Avihu's error in offering a strange fire may have been with good intentions, yet with spiritual impulsivity. Maybe they did not have proper intentions or thought they could be holier in some way than what Hashem required, as they sought to bring an offering that was not appropriately guided. We must perform our spiritual endeavors mindfully and with sincerity. Often, we must humble ourselves to guidance from those more knowledgeable than we are. The tragic fate of Nadav and Avihu underscores the significance of following Hashem's commandments meticulously. The full-on Passover observance requires meticulousness as well. The removal of chametz and the adherence to the specific laws and customs remind us that our relationship with Hashem is built on a foundation of following His basic laws without embellishing them with our own strange fires. Additionally, it is not enough to go through the motions, but we should learn from the reverence of the Kohanim as exemplified by the consecration of the Mishkan and Parsha Shemini. As we conclude the festival of Passover and reflect on Parsha Shemini, we are reminded of the importance of humility and transcendence. May we strive to follow in the footsteps of Aaron the high priest, who embodied these qualities, and may our service to Hashem be imbued with sincerity, mindfulness, and reverence as we continue our journey of spiritual elevation after Passover and Shemini have passed.